UCLA going to Eugene, Oregon. The Ducks are favored by 6 points. It's a 3:30 Eastern game. College game day is going to be on location. And I want to stress how impressive that is, because college game day happens at 9 a.m. Eastern. And there's a lot of prep, I'm sure, that goes in before that. Guys are probably getting makeup and getting hours of preparation before that actually goes live. So the time change, it goes live at 6 a.m. on the West Coast. So you got people probably getting up at 2, 3 o'clock to make this pregame show happen. They wouldn't do that if this wasn't a big game. And we're going to preview it. Oregon has been a different team since the Georgia game, because that's probably the snapshot you have in your mind if you are a casual college football fan. Oregon goes to Atlanta in a neutral site, right? I mean, it was just basically a home game for Georgia with some air conditioning, and they got just drugged. Since then, they've been really good. They've been really, really effective, and Bo Nix has been, I don't want to say a comeback story, but he's been a great story with how effective he's played. Reunited with Kenny Dillingham, this offense is humming. If you were to look at all the stars on this Oregon roster in terms of like what they were recruiting-wise coming out of high school, a lot of those four-star guys are on the defensive side, but the offense is driving this program. Like I mentioned, scoring 42 a game, Bo Nix playing effective, playing efficient, and this is going to be a great chance for them to make a statement to the rest of the country, because how rare is it for the Pac-12 to have a national kind of stage like this? Was talking to Justin Hopkins, who does a phenomenal job for us over on our Oregon On 3 site. He's covered the Ducks for 15 years. He said, I have never seen a home game with this much excitement, this much buzz, this much hype around it. It's going to be an electric atmosphere in Autzen. So that's Oregon. For UCLA, it's a familiar face. Chip Kelly coached Oregon for a really long time. He's going back to Autzen. He's been back to Autzen before, but I don't think the lights have ever been this bright. And he's got UCLA playing some really good football. Last time we checked in on them, they were just taking Utah to the woodshed, scoring pretty much at will. Dorian Thompson-Robinson has paid his dues in full and is now starting to see some benefits from that. This offense really complements him. They're scoring at 40 points a game. I mean, they may be the Pac-12's best chance at the college football playoff. That's just the fact of the matter. They might be. USC lost. Utah's got a couple losses. I don't know if a one-loss champ in Oregon gets in. UCLA may be their best chance right now. So where are the hinges in this game, right? What are the things to watch? I think, quite frankly, where is this game being played is one of my biggest hinges. And, of course, we know it's in Eugene. Like, we know it's in Autzen. Let me rephrase that. Where is this game being played in terms of the style of play? Is it being played in a phone booth, or is it being played on a freeway? Allow me to elaborate. Oregon would like to play this game in a phone booth. Their strength lies in the middle. They want to go north and south on offense with their run game. They want to play in the trenches defensively. They want to try and keep you as tucked in tight as possible. And if they can secure those edges and make you play within the tackles, it's going to be a long day, because they are a blue-collar operation. Dan Lanning, a defensive guy, he is going to take it to you. And that's going to translate to bad things for UCLA. So keep an eye on that, especially the linebackers, the defensive ends. Watch how they play that zone read game from UCLA. For UCLA, like we mentioned, they want to play on the freeway. They want to get you out in space. They want to create one-on-one matchups, because they feel like those Oregon linebackers, really talented in run support, really talented in general, like we said, high star kind of guys. But when you get them in space, they think that favors their athletes. And it's hard to blame them compared to what we saw in that Utah game. UCLA just put on a clinic. Juice box and T-shirt kind of operation, what we like to say around here. Put on a clinic. And Chip Kelly is one of the best play callers in the country. He's just a wizard when it comes to what he does with the playbook. He's going to attack those edges. So that's going to be a hinge point. Can they play in the freeway, play in space, play fast like they want to, or is it a thing where, hey, we're not letting you get outside? If you want to beat us, you got to go through us. Just the way that we're going to play this game. Phone booth favors Oregon. Freeway favors UCLA. Other thing I'm watching in this game, which quarterback blinks? Another way to say that is, which quarterback ad-libs more safely? Because Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, determine the relationship, as some people like to call him, and Bo Nix are both really good at extending plays with their legs and creating scramble drill kind of situations for their receivers to get open, which is great. But anytime you ad-lib, there's more margin for things to go wrong. There's more possibility that, hey, when you put the ball in the air, chaos can favor you, but it could also favor the defense. So who's going to ad-lib more safely? To this point in the year, they've both been really effective. Both over 70% completion percentage, both relatively low interception numbers, and they're both moving the offense at a really effective rate. I truly believe whoever wins this game will get a quarterback that has a cleaner stat sheet. Both can hurt you with their legs, but I think ultimately it's going to be a matter of who's able to just take better care of the football, which is just one of the many rules of the game, really. I mean, just that's one of the coaching points. Every single Sunday morning you come in as a college football player, your coach is telling you who won the turnover battle. And I promise you, every Thursday or Friday night before the game, they are talking to you saying, if we want to win tomorrow, we got to win the turnover battle. And I think that's something that is emphasized and probably more visible when it comes to this quarterback duel. So here's how we see this thing breaking down. Already talked about it. Chip Kelly, even when you think you have him down, he's a step ahead of you. Chip Kelly is taking this game, whether he says it publicly or not. I think this is personal to him. I think he's relishing this kind of spotlight and opportunity for his program. And UCLA, it just feels like they've worked towards a year like this since he's got there. Like it's finally all starting to mesh together. DTR is playing some of the best football of his entire career, came back for a reason. I think he's poised for a big day. I think Chip Kelly calls a phenomenal game, and I think just further along is UCLA than this Oregon product with their first year under Dan Lanning. I think the moment is UCLA's, and I think not only do they cover that 6 points, I think they win the game outright, stunning the folks in Eugene. So we think UCLA wins this game in shootout kind of fashion, 41-38. Chip Kelly and company get a huge win for their program on the road in front of the entire country. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.